discuss about that only. So, do you know anything about OSPF?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it's a uh, dynamic routing protocol, the link state protocol.
Mhm.
There are two types of routing protocols in dynamic routing. One is distance vector, and one is link state. So the basic difference, if we talk about link state and in distance vector, if like we have these routers, some setup of routers, and this is our destination router, this is our source. If we have this kind of setup, this is source, this is destination. Suppose this is all 10 MB link here, and here all are 100. So suppose we are using RIP v2. So if we use RIP v2, which is a distance vector protocol, so uh, although if in general terms, if anybody sees this, that this link is of 10 MB and this link is of 100 MB, so the traffic should go via this way because this is the faster link. But if we are using RIP, as it does not take care about the bandwidth, it take care about the hop counts. How? Sorry, little bit problem. These are 10 MB and these are 100 MBs. So by default, everybody should say yes, okay, we have to go with the 100 MB link, which is the faster one, bandwidth is high. But RIP does not mm, uh, look the total network topology like that, because it is a distance vector and there is nothing to do with the bandwidth. So it will see the hop counts. So if, let us suppose, this is our two paths we are having. So if we say this is R1 and this is R2, so from this side the R2 is 1, 2, 3 hop away from source. But if we take this path, so R2 is 1, 2, 3, 4 hops away. So this is 4 hop path, and this is 3 hop path. So RIP version 2 will select this path because the hop count is less, because this is a distance vector protocol. And one more thing, let us suppose this R1 router having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries. Again, this router having 1, 2, 3, 4 entries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entries. So in whenever the RIP is there, and these are the neighbors in RIP, they are advertising their routing updates already advertised. So after some amount of time, they just send the update packet again and again after some amount of time. So they will send all these update again and again in the routing update packet. So if we have a number of router like 10 routers, so all 10 router will periodically sending all the routing updates again and again to the neighbors, which is choking our bandwidth, which is taking the CPU cycles, taking the RAM, and that's why our uh, network can be slow if we are running on the full throttle. So to remove this kind of stuff, and one more thing, if you can see that that is a 100 MB link which we have not followed because of this RIP. So what we can do, what we can do, we can use OSPF. OSPF is a link state protocol. So the link state protocol, what is the difference? Whenever there is a neighborship between all the routers in OSPF, so it the metric of OSPF is a cost of the link. So as this is a 100 Mbps link, so maybe OSPF has their own certain uh, OSPF costs against the bandwidth of any link. So it depends upon, like 100 MB nowadays, the cost is 10 Mbps. Sorry, cost is 10, not Mbps. So for these links, this is a cost of 10, 10, 10, and 10. And for this 10 Mbps, the cost is 100, 100, 100. So from source to destination, the cumulative cost from this route is 300 cumulative cost. And the cumulative cost of this link equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 40, which is quite less than this cost. So OSPF, even if we are moving through more routers, OSPF will take this route. So that is the advantage, as bandwidth is it is calculating through the bandwidth, because if the bandwidth is higher, cost is lower, and OSPF will take that path. And one more thing, as it is a link state, so whenever these all routers are in neighboring state, working in, are fully means there are states of OSPF. If these all are in full state, then they all routers having the full topology table of entire network. So if there is a link change, like this link goes down, only this information will be sent across the network that this link is down, and we have to take another path. So periodically, like in broadcast network, I think it is 10 second by default, the hello timer. So that hello packet don't take every time, each and every update. Like if this router have tens of routes, this have 5, this have 20 maybe. So at first time when it start, the OSPF processes start when they are in neighboring state. When the router from down, when it moved from down state to full state, in between these state, they just share their database and the topology table. But after that, only every 10 seconds they are sending hellos, but don't taking any updates or routing updates inside that packet. But yes, if there is a change in the topology, only that information will be carried, not the whole topology table or subnet or routing information. So that is the basic difference. So only link state is carrying over this change. So that is the OSPF, you can say. So, and OSPF, it used a hierarchical network design. Let us discuss that also. What is that? Okay, so just suppose we have three buildings here in our like we have for our office. We have these three buildings, different offices of our organization, and every organization have some routers here. Every building have some routers, some set of router interconnected. Anyway, so let's suppose if we run EIGRP here. So in that case, these all belongs to a single AS number. Let us suppose 100 if they are connected. So if there is a change or if the anything happens within that network, all router will send that traffic to all routers here, and there is a drastic update going on in this whole network. But in this OSPF scenario, we have hierarchical network design. Like it is not like AS number. OSPF itself is a single AS, but we can put up a area like area 1, area 0, area 2. So every area will remain its internal communication into that area only. Only if this is a router which is in both the areas, so it will call the ABR. Only when the area 1, any traffic from area 1 wants to go to area 2 or area 0, it will cross the boundary. But the all updates and all the changes within that area remains still that area only. And one more concept is of DR and BDR. So every area is having their own DR and BDR. So if there is any link change here, so this router will send that information to DR. DR then propagates that information to all other routers. It is not that this router will throw the information to all the routers and all the router start again to sending information to other routers. And there is a BDR. If DR fails, BDR will take the role of DR. So DR is a designated router and BDR is a backup designated router. So there is a MAC address for DR like 224.0.0.6. It is for DR. So whenever there is a link change, the router will send their traffic over this or update over this multicast address. And there is one more 224.0.0.5 for all router. Then DR will send update to this address and all router will receive that. So, and it use OSPF use link state advertisements, LSAs, in order to send and receive the information. And LSAs refresh every 30 seconds, and it use Dijkastra shortest path algorithm. It also support the classless and VLSM. AD administrative distance of the of OSPF is 110, and it support only IP routing, not any other protocol. It use a cost as a metric. I told you before, and it has no hop count limit. Like RIP, we have 16 hop count limit. After 16, that is a unreachable router for that. So in RIP, we cannot go beyond 16 hops. One more thing, OSPF build three different type of tables there. So first of all, it's a neighbor table. Neighbor table. It contains the list of all neighboring routers. Like this router have these neighbors. So this router containing the list of this R1, R2, R3. So R4 is having R1, R2, and R3 in its neighbor table. If we see the R1 and we see neighbor table here, so it will show the R4 only. Then R2 shows R4, R3 shows R4. If this is kind of stuff, so R2 will show the R4 and R3, and R3 will show R2 and R4. So this is a neighbor table in OSPF. Second table is a topology table. So it contains all possible routes to all known networks within that area. And so if like area 0, we have 5, 10 routers, and uh, some per router we have like 3, 4 networks in each router. So that topology table will contain all the routes to all the possible routes to reach those networks within that area. That is called a topology table. Third table is called a routing table. It is containing the best route for each known network. So if we use show IP route or show IP route OSPF, that will show that most exact route. If like to reach any destination, there are 2, 3 routes. So it will place a most means it will place the best route in that table. That is called a routing table. So you have any issue in this? You can ask me, because I will cover up within 10 minutes this theory part, and then we'll move on to the practical. If anyone has any issue, you can.
No, not now.
Okay, thank you. So, one more thing, it is having every router in OSPF having a unique router ID. What that router ID is? Router ID shows that if we are getting any route, we have a router ID against that route. So we can say that this route is coming from that router. So that router ID, we can determine that router ID in 3 ways. First is manually specified. We go ahead and go into OSPF router configuration mode and set that router ID manually, but by router ID command. If we have not set it manually, then if we are using any loopback address, 1 or 2 maybe or 3, so the highest IP address of the loopback interface is used by OSPF as a router ID. But suppose if we are not using any loopback interface in that router, so it will take the highest IP address configured on any physical interface. If we are, uh, let's say, we have 3, 4 physical interfaces there in router, whether that interface is a part of OSPF or not, but if it is having a highest IP address, that will be taken by OSPF as a router ID if that is not manually set. So by default, hello packet are sent out on OSPF enabled interface every 10 seconds for broadcast and point-to-point interface, and 30 second and every 30 second for non-broadcast and point to multi-point interfaces. And it has a dead interval time also, which is 4 times to the hello timer. So if we calculate that for broadcast and point to point, so it is 40 seconds by default. So what is that? Because hello packets are working as a keep alive thing also in OSPF. So if neighboring router is not listening to the hello packet up till 30 40 seconds, so it will declare that router as a unreachable or down router. So topology will be changed, or OSPF will find the new route to reach that router. In hello packet, there are some parameters. So that should be matched in order to have that router in neighborship table. In to become a neighbor, those parameters should be matched. What are those parameters? First of all, the let me have two routers here, R1 and R2. So what are the parameters? First of all, area ID. So if I am putting these two routers in neighborship from this interface, let us say we have one more router R3 here. So if this interface we have configured with area 0, and this interface must be in area 0. If this interface is area 1, and if this interface is area 0, there will be no neighborship. So it should be area 1, must be area 1. So area ID should be must be matched. Then the area type, there are several type of areas like stub area, totally stub area, NSSA, or the normal area. So if this is in normal area, this should be in normal area, must be, sorry. Only then they can be a neighbor. One more thing, the prefix and subnet mask. Like if we are using 10.10.10.1/24 here, so that should be 10.10.10.2. We cannot go with 25. That is wrong. We have to use 24 here also. So prefix and the subnet mask must match. Then the hello interval. So please don't change the default value. It is not recommended. Either you can change it. So if it is a 10-second here, it must be 10-second here. Otherwise, it will not be a neighbor. Then the dead interval. So if it is 10, that is 40-second by default. If you have not changed, so it should be same. It must be same. Then the network type. So if we have configured network type broadcast here, so it should be must be broadcast here. If it is point to point, you will check that router is in neighborship, but there will be no routing updates going here and there. And last is the authentication. If you have provide any authentication over this interface, so that must match. Otherwise, there is no need of authentication. Although nobody will use authentication, even I have not seen till now. So these are some uh, parameters that must be matched, and there is a DR and BDR election. So I will not go into that because the topic will be very lengthy. One more thing, I will give you some idea about the states of OSPF, then we'll move on to the lab section. So there are some stages. So first of all, when you start OSPF process, so the router will be in down state. So in down state, that means there is no hello which is heard from the neighboring device, neighboring router. That means it is down. After that, the init stage is there. What init stage says, it says that hello packet has been heard from the neighbor, but the two-way communication is not there, not yet initialized. So I got the hello packet, but no two-way. After that, there is a two-way state. What is that two-way state? It indicates that the bidirectional communication has been established. If you remember, the hello packet contain the neighbor field. Hello packet also contain a neighbor field. So communication is considered two-way once a router sees in its own router ID in its neighbor's hello packet. So like we have these two routers here. So it has sent hello. So this router is in init state. It has said hello. It is init. Now this router again said hello, and in the neighbor field, like this is 2.2.2.2, the router ID, it is 1.1.1.1. So in this new hello packet, neighbor field equals to 2.2.2.2. So this router will be in two-way state, and when this router send again the hello with the neighbor field of 1.1.1.1, so this router again goes to the two-way state. And in this state, the DR and the BDR router are elected. So after that, a new stage comes. We call it X start. In X start stage, router are preparing to share the link state information to the neighboring router. Master slave relationships are formed between two router. It is automatic algorithm of OSPF, and we have not to do anything in that. It is just that you remember in extract stage there will be a master slave relationship. So it is for who will begin the exchange. So what is the criteria? We don't know, and we don't need to know, because there is nothing in troubleshooting for that. So they just prepare the link state information, and whomsoever is the master, that router start the exchanging of the link state information. Then again is the exchange state. In this state, the router exchanging the database descriptor packets, we call it DBD, contain a description of the router's topology database. A router will examine a neighbor's DBD, because in this picture, if we see R1 and R2, so when R2 say is send the DBD packet, so that DBD packet contains the routing information and topology information, topology database of R2. So this R1 compare it with its own topology database, and it will check whether I have to share something back, or R2 is also means R2 is already having the latest DBD which I am having with me. So again, it will go to loading state. Loading state. It indicates that router are finally exchanging the LSAs, link state advertisement, containing information about if in this exchange state, if this R1 found that I have one route extra, so it just send by a DBD or LSU, like link state update, to R2, and in this exchange, the both router will have the identical topology in database table. So in loading state, they are exchanging LSAs and containing information about the all links connected to each other, essentially router sharing their topology table with each other. Sorry, not in exchange. In exchange state, they are just preparing it. In loading state, they do it. Then again, the final state comes. It's a full stage. So finally, all routers are fully synchronized as per the topology table and in the area. they all having the identical topology table. So if you see the neighbor stage in show IP OSPF neighbor, so it will be something like that, full oblique DR, means the neighbor router is a DR router and having a full state. Then full oblique BDR, that means the neighbor router is BDR and in its full state, and two-way oblique DR other. So if that router is not a DR or a BDR, so it will always showing you that it is in two-way. It is not going to the full because only DR and BDR is sending this information to each and every router. And there is one full and DR other also, which indicate that the neighboring router is neither DR or BDR. But in normal OSPF behavior, non-DR and non-BDRs are always remain in the two-way state, not the full state. So don't be confused in that. So this is all about this, and OSPF have 5 6 type of area types. First of all is the broadcast multi-access, this Ethernet thing you can say. This is one network type. One is point to point. If only one link between two router, and we just go into the interface and say the OSPF network type point to point. So there will be no DR and BDR election in that in that network type. And all OSPF traffic is multicast to 224.0.0.5 because there is no extra router there, only two router can be there. And neighbors do not need to be manually specified, just you go ahead with the router OSPF command, it will automatically detect. But in broadcast multi-access, if we talk about, it will elect DR and BDR, and traffic to the DR and BDR is multicast to 224.0.0.6, and to other router from DR and BDR to other router, it will be sent to 224.0.0.5. And here also, it will automatically detect the neighbor through the hello packets. Now, point to multipoint, third type of network. The example of this network type is a frame relay. So OSPF will not elect DR and BDR in point to multipoint, and likewise point to point, the all traffic is multicast to 224.0.0.5, and it will also detect the neighbors automatically. Now the non-broadcast multi-access, it is also example in frame relay. So here, non-broadcast multi-access, OSPF will elect DR and BDR, and neighbor must be manually identified. There is a neighbor command, just like BGP here. So because it is a non-broadcast, so it cannot detect automatically. So you have to manually tell OSPF which one is your neighbor. So this, and uh, it's not broadcast multi-access. And one more thing is a uh, virtual link network type. So we'll discuss that thing later on. So I will show you the lab first because we have already passed 40 minutes in there. Let me share this. Someone please confirm if you can see my screen with the lab. Anybody please confirm. Rajesh, Abdul, Anand Kumar. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, so can you see my screen, the lab? Can you see lab? Please confirm.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our lab. Uh, I am just working on switch 16 or 11 or 12, switch 18 and switch 14. Just see switch 16 is connected with R11 through E1 by 0. R12 connect to R11 is E0 by 0, both side. R11 to R switch 18 from R11 E0 by 2 on switch 18 E1 by 2. Switch 18 to R14 is E0 by 0. And we have taken the IP address of 192.168 mm, like for this subnet 16 to R11 dot 16.0, for this network 12.0, for this network dot 18.0, for this network dot 14.0. So these are the you can say console access for these devices. So first of all, we create the OSPF from you can say R12 to R11. No, R11 will create it in area 0. So first of all, R11. So we have these three interfaces. We will create a loopback interface here, like interface loopback 0 IP address. For R11, we'll create it 11.11.11.11. So let's see, show IP interface brief. Now we'll move into R12. So again, we'll create a loopback interface here. Let us see 12.12.12.12. Now we'll create OSPF. So router OSPF, then the process ID. This is not a AS number, it is a process ID, and this not need to be same in each and every router. Like in router 12, I am taking OSPF 12, then network. So what network we want to introduce here? First of all, the 192.168 dot 12 dot 0, and it used the wildcard mask, not the subnet mask. Wildcard mask is just opposite to the subnet mask. Uh, let me tell you. So if we have, sorry, like if we have slash 24, you all know slash 24 subnet mask is 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 0. So to get the subnet mask, just subtract this from 255 255 255 dot 255. So if you subtract that, you will get 0.0.0.255. So that is how we can calculate the wildcard mask. I believe you all know about that. So here we take 0.0.0.255. It will see check the area also. So on router tile we create it for area 0. And one more thing, network 12.12.12.12 0.0.0.0 area 0. Or you can, it is a different interface. Maybe we can create it on area 1. So this is all. Now on router 11, conf t, router OSPF 11. You remember we have taken 12 there. Now, as our theory told us that the highest loopback address will be the router ID. So on R12, we have not manually defined the router ID, but here we will say router ID 1.1.1.1. Then network 192.168.12 dot. So here this is 12 both side. So 12.0. What area should be? We have taken area 0 there. So it should be area 0 here. If the area mismatch is there, there will be no neighborship between these. So we have to take area 0. Then you can see the adjacency is up. If you go on 12 side, so we'll be seeing the neighbor as 1.1.1. But here we have not given any router ID, but the loopback address is 12.12.12, so it is getting here. We got this message through the hello packets. So what we'll do the next is network 192.168.16.0. Let us say it is area 16. Now again we'll go ahead with 18. Now it is area 18. Now network 11. I'll keep it in area 0. So right now we have the neighborship between 11 and 12. So show IP OSPF neighbor just to check the neighborship table. So you can see full DR because this is area 0 and it is a broadcast. So it has there are only two routers there. And if you see the router ID of that router 12 is higher than the router ID of 11. So it will become a DR. Now we'll go ahead in router 12 and see show IP OSPF neighbor. So it will become a BDR. There are only two. But yes, in area 0, we have one more link 11.11, but that is loopback, so that is not taking part in BDR, DR or BDR. So now show IP OSPF database. So can you check this database? What it is saying? From area 0, we have 1.1, 12.12, the router IDs. Advertising routers, netlink state, area 0. This is the local link of area 0. Summary netlink state, we are having the summary routes of 16 and 18 also. So, and sorry. And in area 1, now we move on to area 1. If you remember, we have given that 12.12 in area 1. So There is a link ID of area 1, and the advertising router is the local router. And in area 1, we got all these routes. Advertising router is the local router. But because the area 1 link is also a loopback router here in this router only, if suppose we have another router connected to area 1 here, so it will give us some more routes with that advertising router. We'll check in other routers as well. One more thing, show IP OSPF topology. No. So that database table is a topology table here. And then show IP route. Show IP route that contain, this is O, these are the inter-area routes. O means OSPF route. If we want to see only OSPF route, so we'll add on OSPF. So these three routes we are having through OSPF. This EIA means inter area, because if you remember, router 12 is in area 0. So we are getting inter area routes, as we have kept 11.11 in area 0, so that is a normal area uh, route, you can say. But 192.168.16 and 18 all are from different area. One is area 16, one in area 18. That means it is an inter area. And in database, we have not seen any area 16 or area 18 there. But yes, we have seen area 1 because area 1 is configured locally on this router. But you can say that we have 12.12 in area 1 and 192.168.12.0 in area 0. Why that route is not there in OSPF? Let me tell you. If we see in show IP route, 12.12 is connected and 192.168.12 is connected. And the connected route administrative distance is 1, and OSPF administrative distance is 110. So 1 is less than that. That's why it has assigned a locally connected route in the routing table, but not in OSPF routing table, because AD of those routes, connected routes, are less than the OSPF routes. So if you have any issue in this, you can ask me, or I will move ahead. Actually, this is a switch, but I am taking it as a router. Conf T, I'm not taking any loopback interface here. Router OSPF 16 router ID. I am taking 6.6.6.6 network. I have 192.168.16.0 and area 60. So if we check on 11, so we got 6.6. Either there is no 6.6 in show IP interface brief here. It's only 16.6, nothing else. Net show IP OSPF neighbor. So you will see only one neighbor, because in this topology only router 11 have more than one neighborship and switch 18. So router 11, if we see show IP OSPF neighbor, you will see here in this is a BDR, means the router 11 is a DR there. You can see neighbor is DR. So we'll discuss later in DR and BDR election. But if we go in the topology table, I show IP OSPF database. So you can see we have two advertising router, two link IDs 1.1 and 6.6, link state, area 16. Netlink state, only 16.1 we are advertising in 16. And these link IDs 11, 12, 12 and 18 we are getting from advertising router this. Let us see in 11 also. Show IP OSPF database. So you can see we have two in area 0. Just check the areas also. Here also it is only for area 16, not area 0, not nothing else. But here we have area 0 and area 16 configured. So first of all, area 0 we have two routers 1 and 12. Just 12.2. These are, you can see uh, in this area 0 we are advertising 16 and 18 through this advertising router and 12 through this. Now we are moving to area 16. So we have area 16 two routers, then advertising router is this link is advertising by area 16 via this router, and these are the summary routes we are getting from another area into area 16. And in area 18 we are also getting these things because only one router in area 18 right now, but we'll configure here in area 18. I think we are not configured here. Show run pipe section OSPF. We have configured. So enable conft router OSPF 18 and network. I'm not giving any router ID here. Let us say what it will give us 192.168.18.0 area 18, then network, let us say dot 8 dot 8 dot. No, it will take that loop back. I'm not okay. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So that is DR again. So now we'll check in R11. So it is 18.8 because show IP interface brief. This is 14.8 and this is 18.8, and 18.8 is higher, means the highest IP address of any interface. So it has taken as router ID here. Now I'll create the router OSPF 18 network 192.168.14.0 also in area 18. Now our 14 router OSPF 14 network area 18 network. So we have this area up bus, but if we go show IPOSPF neighbor, so we are getting that neighbor, and What about the database? Show IP OSPF database. So we have area 18. We have 3 routers in area 18. 1.1, 14, 18. We are advertising 2 links, 14 and 18 in 18. These are the summary addresses we are getting from this router 1. If we have something like I have introduced 14.14 in this router 14, so we'll check this here. Show IPOSPF database. So it is starting from area 0 and we are getting 14 itself. If we go here and show IPOSPF database, so we are getting this 14.14 also here, and we can ping it 14.14.14.14 success. And here we are still on area 0, now area 16 we are getting, now area 18. And if we see show IP OSPF, show IP root OSPF, so we are saying only inter-area route is 12.12 because it is giving, I'm coming it from, it is coming from area 1 because area 18 is local to this router. So this 14.14 we are getting the local OSPF route, and rather all is connected on this route. So this is on connected interface. Show IP route will tell you everything. So only one inter area. But if we go with the 16, show IP route OSPF, we'll get many inter area routes here. So this is all about the lab. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Anyone have any question? Abdul, Anand, or Rajesh?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay, Rajesh. Abdul, do you have any question regarding this OSPF class today? Anand? Because this is only 1 hour demo, which is proposed today. Just hold on, let me ask Zoya if she can join.